Hare 23, the Cheshire Cat. Agent Christoph, you have been assigned the task of gathering valuable intelligence on the operations of the Chicago Spirit to relay back to headquarters. Your temporary lodgings will be located at the Palmer House, room 114. You will find a package containing our current list of locations, events, and persons of interest regarding this investigation, as well as instructions for contacting us. Godspeed. Vigiles in Noctem, July 27th, 1910. The Chicago Tribune, Friday, December 6th, 1910. Death on the Docks. Local gang assassinates federal agent in broad daylight, by Thomas Smith, Editor-in-Chief. Chappell. We lost the newest shipment of moonshine from Indianapolis. We were at the docks taking the goods out of the boat when one of the boys started spluttering and turning purple. I figured he'd probably swallowed his cig and was about to check on him when his skull folded inward. He had barely hit the floor when some fucker dragged himself over the edge of the boat. I pulled my piece and told him to get his ass up and come with me. I don't know what the fuck he did, but the next thing I knew, I was flat on my ass and he was pointing the Colt at me. We looked at each other for a good long minute, then he dropped the gun and bolted. The whole time, muttering about getting his fucking hat back. It was Christoph, the fucking spook you shot. He had that crazy look in his eyes, but I'd recognize that face anywhere. I have no idea how he's alive, but this shit can't be good. Skipka, February 10th, 1911. Hare. Reza definition, hare, Chicago Spirit to refer to anomalous individuals of interest. Hare 23, Cheshire Cat. Who? Joseph Christoph. Big shot agent the spook sent to tail the boss. The feds backed off real quick after Chappell put a bullet in his brain. We thought that would be the end of it, but it seems the cat doesn't know how to stay dead. What? As far as we can tell, the cat is a jabberwock. Raise a definition, jabberwock. A term used by the Chicago Spirit to refer to anomalous individuals capable of intentionally warping reality, referring to author Lewis Carroll and his poem, Jabberwocky, equivalent to reality bender. Just like Chappell, we've seen him walk through walls, put an entire building to sleep, collapse a man's skull, and go from New York to Chicago in a day. And that's just the magic shit. He was dangerous before he died, and he's even more dangerous now. There's something about that bastard that makes it damn near impossible to remember him. Skipka was going on and on about how he recognized Christoph immediately, but an hour later, he couldn't even tell you whether he looked at a broad or a fella. Good thing someone had the sense to write this bit down before that, but it makes keeping tabs on him a real pain in the ass. When we figured the spooks had someone tailing us for a while, we didn't figure they were going to send the Joseph Christoph. He was the man who crippled the Iralta family in New York, earned himself a target on his back and a king's bounty on his head for it. The little bird told us he was staying at the Palmer House last April. We set up an ambush in his hotel room. Half a dozen of our boys and the boss himself lying in wait for him. By the time he woke up, he was staring down the barrel of a loaded Thompson. Chappell made an example of him before dumping his body in the river. We watched him die. We watched Chappell's pet fish shred the body to pieces. We watched his effects burn. What none of us understand is why we're still seeing him walking around like nothing happened. Where? He's got to have some place he's operating out of, but so far we haven't found it. We searched his hotel room, but all we found was a slip of paper with the address of the Sharpers. Raise a definition, Sharpers, a term used by the Chicago Spirit to refer to Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited. Stronghold downtown, tacked onto the wall. Chappell doesn't think he's in league with the Sharpers because they don't write like the Spooks. But you never know. Some of our inside men have been eavesdropping around the other groups to see if they've got anything on the cat. Seascale, Titans. Raise a definition, Titans. A term used by Chicago Spirit to refer to paratechnological company Prometheus Labs Incorporated. They got nothing on the cat. Portland's does seem like a likely hideout for him, though. Gretzky, the Cheesers. Raise a definition, Cheesers. A term used by Chicago Spirit to refer to the Foundation. It's not like the Cheesers to send Hares and Carols out into the open like this, so it's probably not one of their guys. I did find a file about a colored man in Georgia who fits the bill, but there's no way in hell that's the cat. Just a coincidence. Vieira, the Shelf Rattlers. Raise a definition, Shelf Rattlers. A term used by the Chicago Spirit to refer to the Serpent's Hand. The caretakers of the library keep giving me different answers. Some have never heard of him. Some say they know someone similar. Some say the cat's a dame, though the stories of what he can do are consistent. No two caretakers describe the same person. I'll send a note if I find something good. Caleb, the Hypes. Raise a definition, Hypes. A term used by the Chicago Spirit to refer to the Anart collective known as Are We Cool Yet? The Hypes know something about the cat, though they call him by a different name. He's definitely the same guy, but they seem to be on good terms with him. We'll have to keep an eye on them to see if he tries to contact them. Beats me who the fuck came up with the name The Critic, though. Why? We don't know. Doesn't seem like he remembers anything from before he crawled out of that boat. He still hates our guts, though, but that could be because we tried to kill him as soon as we crawled aboard. He also seems to have a connection to the Sharpers. We only recently found out the location of the Sharpers' place, and that was with weeks of surveillance. There's no way he found it through conventional means. How? 70 grand. 70 grand is enough to move to Hawaii and never lift a finger in your life again. And all you have to do to get that 70 grand, put a bullet between the cat's eyes. Chappell doesn't care how you do it, as long as he doesn't come back. What would it look like to the citizens under our care if the people we got rid of for them started coming back? It's not good for business, and we take care of our business. Nobody gets in the way of that.